Creating 3D fabrics for PBR models can be labor intensive and time consuming. In fact, generating them as well would also require a similar set of work which would take away from the time being spent creating the amazing piece you're going for. And to solve this, the folks at VMod have recently released a 3D service called Fabricator. This initially started off as a 3D fabric and asset library, but with the most recent technology currently available, they now offer a generative service which allows for creation of 3D fabrics from text prompt. And to see how this works, all you need to do is go over to the link in the description that will bring you right here, where you can check this out for yourself. And the beautiful thing about this is currently available for anyone to jump on. So if you're looking for 3D library assets, or probably you like to generate yours, or simply create a 3D digital twin of your real life fabric, then you can simply go ahead and do all of this. More so, this is compatible with most of the DCC app out there, which includes Maya, Blender, Cinema 4D, Unreal Engine, Substance Painter, Substance Designer, Marvelous Designer, and also Clo 3D. And to get started, all you need to do is simply go over to the 3D asset library and take a look at all of the textures that exist. So within the 3D library, there's a ton of textures that exist right there, and you can simply search through these textures, or you can go ahead and filter them based on the fabric type, the composition, characteristics, or the pattern. And to any of the textures that you like to play with, you can select them, take a look at the compatible softwares, and you can proceed to download it. It's also worth mentioning that they do have a Drape template, and this is more specific for Marvelous Designer users and for those who like to present their digital fabric in an extremely interesting way. There's also a GLTF format which you can proceed to work with if you're looking for an additional file format. More so, the digital fabric is also available, and like we mentioned earlier, this is the digital twin of real life fabrics, and you can proceed to take a look at this as well. More interestingly, there is the Fabricator AI. And once you go over to the Fabricator AI section, you can now start creating fabric. Once you click on Start Now, this would ask you what would you want to create with this. And in this case, we would say we're creating 3D fabric textures for our models. And once we have that, we can click on Submit, and this would automatically give us access in. And once you get in, you would notice that Fabricator offers two options. The very first one is the custom generate that consists of 4 different steps of generating 3D fabric. And this includes generating the swatches, making them seamless, upscaling the textures, and generating a PBR map. And the second option is the quick generate, which simply generates a seamless HD texture with PBR map in one go. And once we're happy with this, we can proceed. Right here, you'll notice that we have a certain number of credits, which of course you can increase if you want. You do have a custom and quick. Now within the custom section, you'd also notice you have generate swatches, which allows you to use a prompt to generate the swatches that you want to go for, or you can use the use your swatch. Now in this case, if we like to use a swatch, we would need to upload an image. Now I'm just simply going to select this image, and if we like to make this seamless, we can select that and make it seamless and click on use your swatch. And with this ready, we can click on select, and this is going to bring us to a place where we can make some adjustment. Now just in case you like to make adjustment to this, of course, you can definitely go to town and do it. And for sure, if you would like to see the grid lines and all of that stuff, you can also turn this on and turn it off. So with this, you can tell where things are clipping and when things are not clipping. And it's also worth mentioning that we can turn this off and also use these handles to make some adjustments. So depending on what you're trying to make, you can make some adjustment like so. So we can make adjustment like this if this is what we want to go for. And if we're comfortable with what we have before, we can simply leave it the way it is. If you like to skip this step, you can simply skip it, but in this case, we're just simply going to click on Make Seamless and continue with it. And while this is running through, a couple of helpful tips and tricks would be popping up on the page, and this just simply gives you something to read while you wait for it to process. And once this is processed, it offers you an option to either upscale this from the default 512 all the way to 1K, 2K, or 4K. And because we like to get this at the highest resolution possible, we're just simply going to set it to 4K and click on Upscale Texture. This will process the texture and generate all of the relevant maps that we need. And once this is processed, this is where we can now select if we would like to have a metallic texture attached to this texture that we're generating or not. So in this case, we don't need a metallic map, so I'm just simply going to select no. With that done, I can click on generate PBR maps, and this will deduct from the credits that we have and generate the PBR map for us. You can now see that we have the lovely texture here. And all of these are 4K, so whether you like to see the fabric image or you like to see the base map, the roughness, the metalness, which of course we don't want, and you can see it's totally blank, or we would like to see the normals or the height map, all of these have been well done. You can of course see this on an outfit with a couple of samples that they have here. You can scan through all of them and see how this would apply when you're looking at them on an object. If you like to make some tweaks, like for example increasing the size, reducing the size, you can do all of that. You can play with the roughness map and all the other parameters that exist here. There's also a beautiful color adjustment that deals with the add layer. So just in case you like to tweak the color, you can definitely add an extra layer and tweak the colors to your liking. And if you're comfortable with what you have, you can hit the download button and download the texture you've generated. So now that we've seen how you can use the custom, use your swatches, let's see how you can generate swatches by yourself. So what we can do is go over to the swatch section, go right here where we have the prompt generator, click, and you would notice that we have generate with text and generate with image. And for this image, what we're going to do is click, drag and drop an image here. And in this case, we do have a sweat jacket image, which we're going to use to generate the swatches. And we're going to enter the text jacket area. And once we enter the text, we can now click on the regenerate button to generate a prompt. And with our prompt generated, we can now proceed to click and select the prompt which we have and click on use this prompt. And once we have this done, we can simply go ahead and make some adjustments if we want, or we can click right here and add some more adjustment. But in this case, everything seems to be fine. But if at any point there are certain parameters you like to increase, you can click on the plus button to increase them, or you can click on the minus button to reduce them. Now with this done, we're simply going to go all the way down and click on generate swatches. Now this takes a few seconds to generate the sweat swatches that we want. In this case, this generates 4 swatches, which you can toggle through and select the one that best suits our case. Now at any point in time you like to use text to generate your prompt, what you can do is go over to custom, let's generate swatches, and click on the prompt generator. Now within this section, you'll notice that we have a pattern. Now in this case, we're going to select Baruch, and for the color, we're going to select the green turquoise, and finally for characteristics, we're going to select embroidery. Now once we have this ready, we can now proceed to click on the regenerate button. Now on clicking the regenerate button, what will happen is this is automatically going to create a set of prompts for us, which we can select and click use this prompt. Now within this section, we can also choose to select the fabric type that we want. And we're going to go down and select the jacquard/brocade. Now once we have this ready, we're going to set our number of output to be 4, and just in case you like to have any negative prompt, yes you can. So you can choose to enter negative prompts like distorted or wrinkled, but in our case we're going to leave this as it is and click on generate swatches. Now with the swatches ready, we can click and toggle through and see the ones that we want. Now in this case, I kind of like this one, so what we're going to do is just have it selected and we're going to click on select. Now once you have this selected, you can proceed to make it seamless if you want. Now in this case, we're just simply going to move things around and make this file seamless. Other cool things that you can do is proceed to scale this from 1K all the way to 4K. And once this is done processing, this would also offer you a chance if you like to generate a metallic map for the material. Now in this case, we don't want to generate a metallic map, so we're simply going to select no and proceed to generate a full PBR texture map with this. And once this is done, you now have a texture which you can now use on your 3D model. And you can toggle through all the 3D models of choice and play with them. So just in case you like to play with the scale, you can also use that. And if you like to throw in a little bit of a sheen, you can also do that as well. So in this case, we're going to do that and we can increase the sheen. And of course, if you would like to increase the sheen roughness, you can also do that and turn that off if you will. So all of these parameters are available and you can tweak them to your heart content to get the most out of them. And at any point you would like to take a look at all of the materials that you've been generating ever since, you can simply go over to the 3D library and you can go to the section called purchased. This is going to open up a page where you can see all the materials that you've generated. So depending on the material you like to download and work with, you can proceed to select it and you can download it. You can simply go right here and click on download to start downloading it. And for the download, you do have 2 different file formats that you can get. And this includes JPEG and USD. And in this case, we would like to download the JPEG file and we're simply going to hit the download button and download the zip file. And inside of the zip file, you do find all of the textures that you have. So if you like to use this in Blender, it is super easy. So Blender simply open up right here. We do have a free plot model, which I'm going to put a link to this in the description as well. So what I'm going to do is just click, drag out a new panel, and we're going to switch over to the shader. Now within the shader, I'm just going to declare a new principal BSDF material, and then I'm going to click, drag and drop, and from here we can wire the color over to the base color. And once we do that, let's take a look at what this looks like in Eevee, and you can see what we have. So automatically we now have that texture right here. Let's go in, increase the light, bring that light right over to a position like so, and we can make adjustment like this. So any of the textures you have, you can bring them in. For example, the roughness, we can just simply go ahead and connect that. At any point in time you like to scale this texture to fit into what you're creating, you can simply go ahead and do that too. And with that, you now have something that you can work with. So this is it. For those who are thinking about exploring this, then probably you would like to go over to the link in the description that'll bring you over to VMod, where you can check out all of the cool things that you can do with it. Right now, you can proceed to download textures as much as you want, play with materials and assets that they have here, and generate your own. If you do have your own fabrics which you would like to digitize, you can simply use the digitize fabric section and explore all of the cool things that you can find there. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, and of course if you like this video or you like something from this, you can go ahead and give a like and don't forget to share with a friend. And I'd like to see you guys in the next one. Peace.